Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
That's too bad. How are you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing fantastic. Give me just a second, I gotta find some headphones.
I don't know. It's all good.
Alright, there we go.
Perfect. So first off, thank you for taking the time to chat with me. It really means a lot. I know this is kind of probably out of your way and not super convenient for you.
Nah, it's all good.
Um,
Glad to help.
so I have about, let me look here. Looks like 10 questions or so.
Okay.
We may or may not get to all of them. I just kind of want to have a candid conversation about some of the things that you do as a streamer, and we'll just see where the conversation takes us, but it shouldn't take too long.
Sure.
Cool. So, how long have you been streaming?
Uh, well, I started streaming uh, about a year ago, but then I kind of stopped, and then I kind of rekindled the flame, so to speak, with a new uh, channel about 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago.
Nice.
So,
So what made you stop? Just out of curiosity.
just a lot of things going on personally. Like I had just moved out here to Chicago,
Oh, nice.
and so I was just like, between getting a new job and trying to make it out here on my own, like I just didn't really have the time for it and things like that.
Right, understandable. So what kind of games do you usually play? What types of games, I suppose?
Um, I mean, it kind of varies. Right now, I've been playing a lot of Mario Maker. I've
Oh,
gotten
nice.
a couple, I've gotten about 70 followers just based on that game alone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people like to, because you can submit your levels, and people really like submitting their levels and watching me play them. So
Hmm.
I play a lot of Mario Maker, and then I also like to play like Overwatch. Did a lot of Dark Souls 3 for a minute. So it's kind of
Nice.
a variety of different things.
Cool. And I'm just taking some notes here. So if there's like awkward pauses, I'm not being weird. I'm just taking some notes.
For sure.
Cool. Okay. Um, so for you personally, why do you broadcast?
I do it because I mean, quite simply, it's just fun. I just kind of enjoy it. It's, the way I describe it, it's not, this isn't my quote, but the way I've heard it described and the way I like to describe it to people is that it's essentially a virtual couch.
Okay.
Because, I was born in 91, so I've been gaming for a while. I've been through a lot of the different consoles throughout the generations. But back in the days before like online gaming, you would sit on the couch with your friends and you would play or watch them play, and that's essentially what Twitch is to me, is being able to play games and have your friends and then make new friends just watching on this virtual couch, so to speak.
Nice. That's actually really cool. Never heard somebody explain it like that,
Yeah.
but that makes a lot of sense. Um, so okay, so for you personally, again, what is the biggest challenge that you face as a streamer? And it can be anything. I know it's kind of a vague question.
For me personally, I think biggest challenge is because I'm definitely a small streamer.
Hmm.
It's going through the days where you have nobody in chat. Like, not, you're basically talking to yourself, and it's definitely a challenge to try to get into it, because if you think about it, you're like, you're playing by yourself and you're essentially talking to yourself.
Hmm.
Um, so that to me would be the biggest challenge, is trying to keep doing it despite the lack of audience, I guess.
So would you say that's kind of your biggest pain point is, or maybe not pain point, your biggest desire is to have a larger audience, a larger following?
Yeah, in ways, yeah. I want, so essentially, um, I have the channel I run is Cryo Gear Gaming. So like my stream name, my gamer tag or whatever is Brosiris, and that's kind of like my personal brand, I guess you could say. But
Nice.
Cryo Gear Gaming is an idea my friend and I had. We wanted to basically just build a big community and do, I have, we're starting out with streaming and we're starting to put out YouTube content. But we want to, there's just like, we want, basically want to grow this thing into a huge community and have a place where like-minded people can kind of come and hang out. And what I want for the stream the channel itself is to basically have it run 24/7 with different streamers, and like so
Hmm.
there's a wide range of different personalities and talents, and something kind of for everybody to enjoy. So yeah, I guess the goal for this channel specifically is to just have a big following.
Nice. Okay. So with that channel, do you ever do any sort of like collaborations or like co-ops or anything like that?
Um, Not yet. There is a streamer I'm talking to. He goes by Head Shops with a Z.
Okay.
He is somebody I've been kind of like joining in his channel and hanging out in his chat, and I'm currently talking to him to have him try and like come stream with us. So there's collaboration talks in the works, but none yet, just because we are so new, and it takes a little bit for people to want to like jump on board to something like so small. So
Right. So with the collaborations, um, are there any challenges with like meeting people or anything like that, or was it pretty streamlined in the process, not too bad?
I don't think it was too bad. I mean, it really is just as simple as like finding somebody you like watching stream, being participate in their chat, and providing good conversation. And
Hmm.
that's really all I did. Is I went into his. I just kind of randomly clicked his channel one day and watched him, and then within like 2 days, like I was just really enjoying his channel, and try to watch at least a couple of minutes a day, and it's just kind of just a way to build like these relationships with other streamers. Is like you can't really like expect to message somebody, go, hey, let's collaborate. You kind of have to actually enjoy what they do and interact with them and like be a part of their channel, because then they're gonna want to
Hmm.
participate in yours. And it's kind of like that's the thing I like about Twitch a lot. I feel is that especially with smaller streamers, there is kind of a sense of like teamwork and camaraderie.
Cool. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That really makes sense. Um, so what's the point, I guess, for collaborating? Is it just to make friends, or is it like cross promotion? What's the main goal behind it all?
I mean, that one I feel like it varies. For me personally, it's
Hmm.
a bit of both. Because, like I said, I like to stream because I like to basically have that virtual couch and like make new friends. But also I'd like to grow the channel big. So there's sort of a cross promotion thing that I'm trying to achieve with that. So I think it varies depending on each streamer's what do you say their kind of goals.
Sure. Yeah. So switching gears a little bit, and this is kind of my last big topic. Talking about sponsors, I'm not sure how many followers exactly you have, but have you ever looked into sponsorships or even consider that? Is that something that you want? Just kind of walk me through that process in your mind.
So I haven't gotten to that level yet, unfortunately,
Right.
but it is something that I do eventually want to do, because sponsorships can help basically blow your channel up in a good way. It can provide a source of revenue and bring in more viewers potentially.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's something I definitely would be looking into. And it's something also where I know that uh, when I get to that point where sponsorships are going to be a thing, I'm definitely going to be choosing them very carefully, because I want to be sponsored by like companies or brands or whatever that I actually believe in, like think are good quality. So it's not something that I would just kind of do recklessly.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just taking a few notes here.
Mm-hmm.
30. Okay. So, is it strictly for the reason of sponsorships? Is it strictly because of size thing you don't quite think you're ready because you don't have enough following, or is it something else that you just professionally you don't think you're quite ready for that?
I think it's again a bit of both. Because right now CryoGear has 124 followers. It's still very much in the early stages of
Mm-hmm.
its life, and also I this is something new, entirely new to me. As far as like any sort of internet streaming or content creation goes, it's kind of like my first try at it. So I don't feel like jumping into it right away um, would be wise, just because I need to like kind of educate myself more on it, and make sure I make educated decisions and make sure I don't like completely destroy everything that I'm trying to work
Right.
for.
Right. All right. Okay. Finish that. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of runs through all my questions.
Awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me or anything? Or yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been doing a lot of the questioning, and
Yeah.
maybe it needs to be flopped or something. Maybe not. I don't know.
No,
Just
no,
a-
it's actually good. I actually really enjoyed the questions. I mean, as far as questions for me, I didn't really have any. I guess just to clarify, because uh, I'm gonna I'm streaming this to like friends and family right now. So
Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot you were doing that. No,
yeah,
of course. That's totally cool. I
yeah.
yeah, completely forgot. It's probably best you waited until the end to tell me. That way I wasn't like weird about it.
Hey, it works. But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of years, so don't worry. But I guess just to clarify, because one of the biggest reasons, like, I was excited about doing this is that I get all the time from like like family, like my mom and my dad, and kind of people who aren't too savvy, and when it comes to the whole Twitch thing, is I want to kind of give them an insight into what it is I do. So I've like messaged my grandparents and my mom and my dad, and
Hmm.
um, so I guess I kind of like lost track here, but yeah, no, my question I guess is for them is uh, what exactly it is that you're doing as far as like because from what I understand, this is like kind of like a research thing for you, as far as like what it is like Twitch
Yep.
streamers do and what they are.
Yep. So I'm a graduate student at the University of Iowa, so not too far away from you. And what I'm working on, it's a market research project. So I'm an MBA student, and it's really about how social media is evolving. And I mean, granted, I don't necessarily consider Twitch so much a social media channel as you would traditionally think, like
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Twitter, things like that. But it's definitely a medium that's really engaging millennials, and one thing that I've taken a real interest in, and I'm not a streamer. I play a little bit of video games, but I probably wouldn't even consider myself a gamer necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but what I've been doing some research into is just the fascination behind Twitch's progression throughout. I don't know. I believe it got acquired in 2011 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just the crazy engagement rates and site visits that it's been getting,
Yeah.
and the huge hockey stick growth that it's had in the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really the focus of my research is on Twitch streamers and how they are interacting with their viewers, how are they getting their viewers up for their channel, and if there's any sort of sponsorship information out there, and how that whole thing works. But esports in and of itself is something that needs to be taken very seriously from a
Mm-hmm.
business standpoint, um, because it's going crazy, and
Yeah.
I think what you're doing is incredible. And just being in that space alone, I think, and this is just a personal opinion, in the next few years, there's going to be a lot of money being pumped into it. And if you can, keep growing your channel, I think it's a huge opportunity. And this is from somebody who doesn't even play video games. And
Right.
just from an outside perspective, I see a huge upside. Uh, so, yeah, sorry. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. No, that answers it perfectly. And that's kind of what I try to explain to people. I give them the whole virtual couch analogy, and I also like um, let them know that like Twitch is kind of like how YouTube was in the early stages.
Yeah.
It's growing fast and it's growing big, and it's already pretty big.
Hmm.
YouTube launched their own competitive service because of how big Twitch is getting. So it kind of is an indicator of like, I mean, everybody knows YouTube, and this at this point, at least, I mean, obviously not everybody, but a good majority of millennials or anybody with an internet connection knows what YouTube is.
Right.
And the fact that YouTube, like I said, is trying to compete with Twitch is kind of cool, because then it's, for me anyway, because Twitch is something I've been following for a little bit. Like I said, I've been streaming for, I guess, technically a year, but Twitch has been around a couple years before that, and I've kind of watched as it like just exploded, especially in the more recent years. Games are getting really competitive. Esports is coming onto the scene pretty fast, and people are starting to catch on, and so it's kind of, I don't know, it's just like really cool to me, I guess.
Yeah, no, I share the same fascination with all of this. I mean, I even find myself, this again, I don't play that many video games, but I'll sit and watch people play video games for literally hours. I mean, granted, it's not fully engaged, has my complete attention, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like TV. It's like I have it
Right.
on and I'm watching it. I don't know why. It's fun. I don't know. It's fun watching somebody else play a video game.
Exactly.
It is cool. I mean, personality plays a huge part in it because they're entertainers at
Mm-hmm.
the core. Yeah, so yeah, what you guys are doing is definitely an art, and there's a talent for it. But yeah, so I've been fascinated with it. I'm very lucky that I get to do a research project on it,
Yeah.
because I enjoy it. So yeah, anyway, thank you though for
Yeah.
taking the time again to chat with me, and I hope
Absolutely.
um, that you keep on growing your channel. I'll go on there and follow you right now. I mean, that's the least I could do for at least you know, having the time to talk with me, and yeah, I'll watch you progress as the channel grows.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, if you ever need anything too, just please reach out. I'd
Yeah.
love to return the favor in any way possible. But otherwise, yeah, I guess have a great night, Jonathan.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Cool. See you later.
See ya.